Hello and welcome to homework 7.025. This one only has 2 questions, so you're welcome. All right, let's see what they are. Solve the system of equations using elimination. All right, so we have our 2 equations here and we need to get something to cancel out. What you're going to notice right away is that we don't have opposites from the start. 5 and 2 are not going to cancel out. Negative 2 and 3 are not going to cancel out. All right, so we need to get one of those, either the A's or the B's, to cancel out. So here's how we're going to do that. We're going to put both equations in parentheses. The reason we're doing that is because we're getting ready to multiply them. So we're going to multiply both equations by some number. All right, and we have to choose. We can get rid of the A or the B. It's your choice. I'm going to get rid of the B because it already has a minus sign here. When you think about it, if you have opposites, one of them needs to be positive, one of them needs to be negative. Since I already have a negative here, I'm going to go with the B's. Now the way this works is whatever number is in front of the bottom B is going to go up to the top. So I'm going to multiply the top equation by 3. And then whatever number is in front of the top B, I'm going to bring down here and multiply the bottom equation. Now, the big mistake that we see a lot here is people want to make this a negative 2. Because they're like, Mr. Bono, there's a negative 2 in front of the B. Why wouldn't I bring a negative 2 down? All right. The key here is you have to focus on what it means to have opposites, or what we call in math additive inverses. The numbers have to be the same, but the signs have to be different. So when you're doing these, you only want one of the signs to be different. So this is positive, this is positive, this is positive, and then we have one different sign here that's negative. The reason we need this is 3 times negative 2 is going to give us a negative 6. 2 times positive 3 is going to give us a positive 6. If we had made this 2 negative, we would have ended up with 2 negative 6's and nothing would have canceled out. All right, so you have to think a little bit when it comes to the signs, and what you just want to make sure is that whatever you're multiplying is going to give you one positive and one negative. So it can't just be automatic like, oh, negative 2 goes down there. You have to think about it and say, all right, I want one negative and one positive. What's going to give that to me? And usually what you're looking for is only having one sign different. So that either means 3 positives and 1 negative, or it means 3 negatives and 1 positive. But you only want one of the 4 to be different. All right, now that we have our numbers, let's actually do our distribution. So 3 times 5 is 15a. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6b. 3 times 20 is 16. Don't forget that last piece there. That's the one kids forget to multiply probably most often. Then we'll do the same thing down below. 2 times 2 is 4a. 2 times 3 is 6b. 2 times 27 is 54. All right. Now you'll see that we have these opposites. All right. So these 2 are opposites, and now when we add the equations together, we'll actually have something cancel out. All right. So we went from having nothing canceling out to having the B's cancel out. So we'll get 19a. These will go away. Equals, 19a equals 114. Okay. So next thing, we'll divide both sides by 19. So divide by 19, divide by 19, and you're going to end up with a equals 6. Okay? So that's half the problem. Now we need to go back and find b. We're going to plug it into one of these 2 equations. It doesn't matter which one. I'm going to go with the bottom one. So 2a plus 3b equals 27. I'm going to take this 6. I'm going to plug it in for a. So now I have 2 times 6 plus 3b equals 27. 12 plus 3b equals 27. Subtract 12 from both sides. We'll get 3b equals 15. Divide by 3, divide by 3. b equals 5. So we've got our 2 answers there, 6 and 5. It's always a good idea to check these. So again, you can just take your calculator here And it's kind of like the old school style middle school checks where we're just plugging things in. So we're going to plug in the 6 for the A. We're going to plug in the 5 for the B, so minus 2 times 5. And hopefully when we do this, we're going to get 20. All right, so we did on the first one, and now let's check the other one. So we're going to do 2 times 6 plus 3 times 5, and hopefully when we check this one, we're going to get 27, and we do, so we're in good shape there. All right, let's move on to the second and final problem. All right, so again, we've got two equations, 5x plus 4y equals negative 14, 3x plus 6y equals 6. Again, you're not seeing any opposites. 5 and 3 aren't going to cancel out. 4 and 6 aren't going to cancel out. So we have to create our opposites. All right, so again, I'm going to rewrite these because it's a little cramped here. So 5x plus 4y equals negative 14. 3x plus 6y equals 6. Now, your choice on which one you want to cancel out, I'm just going to go with the x's. Everything's positive here. It's not like I already have a negative sign, so it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to go with the x's. So this 3 is going to go up top. This 5 is going to go down below. Now, if we go back to our top conversation there, we said that when you're doing this, you need opposite signs. So one of the signs has to be different. You're either having 3 positives and a negative, or 3 negatives and a positive. Right now, we're seeing all 4 of our numbers are positive. Positive, 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 positive. So that's a problem because we're not going to end up with opposite signs. So what you have to do is you get to pick which one you want to make negative. It's either going to be the 3 or the 5. Doesn't matter which one, but you're only going to pick one of them because you only want one of the 4 signs to be different. All right, so I'm going to go with a negative 3 here. And then I'm going to start my distribution. Negative 3 times 5 is negative 15x. Negative 3 times 4 is minus 12y. And then negative 3 times negative 14, we've got a negative times a negative there, so that's going to be a positive 42. All right, then we'll do the same thing down below. 5 times 3 is 15x. So here you're seeing I have my opposites, a negative and a positive, and then they're the same number. 5 times 6 is plus 30y, and then 5 times 6 again is another 30. Okay. So we can now add these together because we have our opposites. The x's will cancel out. That was the whole point. Negative 12 plus 30 is going to be 18y. And then 30 and 42 is going to be 72. Okay. So divide both sides by 18, and you end up with y equals 4. Okay. So that's a good start, but we're not done yet because we still need our x. Again, doesn't matter which one you pick. I'll go with the bottom one this time. 3x plus 6y equals 6. That's my equation that I'm looking at. And then this 4 is going to get plugged into that equation. So this 4 goes in for the y. And then I get 3x plus 6 times 4 equals 6. 3x plus 24 equals 6. Subtract 24 from both sides. And 3x equals a negative 18. So then we divide by 3, and x equals negative 6. So again, just kind of to not lose sight of what we're doing here, if we had 2 lines, they would be intersecting at the point negative 6, comma 4. That would be the intersection point of the 2 lines. Now, before we wrap this up, let's just do one final check. So we're going to go up. We've got our original equations here. 5 times negative 6 plus 4 times 4 should give us negative 14. And it does, so that's good. And then we check the second one. 3 times negative 6 plus 6 times 4. And hopefully this one gives us a positive 6. And look at that, it does. So we know we're right. We're done because it was only 2 questions. And we can wrap this one up. All right, I hope this was of some help, and have a good day.